What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, June 8th. It's around 8 p.m. Eastern Time here. It's time for the market analysis and forecast video. So let's look at the SPY. Today was a good session for the SPY. Rallied and continued higher throughout the day, closed above 212, and so we are very close, I believe, to all-time highs. We're above the most recent, this recent high pattern up at all the way back in November, and so really looks very bullish for the first time in a while. So we've had this longer consolidation period where we've gone up and down, up and down, up and down. It looks like we may finally be extending past that with the help of a weakening dollar and the idea that rate hikes may be further away. So with that being said, we can see the dollar opened lower and gained a little bit back during the trading session, but still lower for the day. And with that, we saw commodities rise. So gold, I think I had stated, I definitely had stated, back here I had said that I thought that it was going to go back, that it was trying to reach a bottom, and that it most likely it was going to go back to this 18 area, and we would see from there. So it did go back to the 18 area on this whole the jobs number, and then hung around there for a couple days, and now just today it rallied up. When it hit the 18, I said I thought it would probably drift up and go back to the highs, where the idea back here, up in these levels, the idea was that there was not going to be a rate hike. Then there was a lot of talk about a rate hike. It drifted down, and then the June employment numbers came out, were bad, and then we had some Yellen testimony. So the idea of a June hike, and generally rate hikes in general being pushed back, I think that's the rumor of the day, or the consensus. So I think we're going to go back. What I said is after the 18 is that I thought it was just going to drift back to 120, 121. We're nearly there. We're at 120.57 or something like that. So I think it probably goes all the way back up to near these highs and retests these highs, because I think the idea that there's no rate hike is kind of firmer in people's minds, and so unless and until we get different data, I believe that the gold will drift higher indefinitely, really, and until the June or the next Fed meeting, which will kind of reset at that point based on the information that's given. But gold higher on the session, and looks like it wants to go back to testing recent highs. Another one that has been really good for us is oil. So I've been talking about it breaking out and kind of holding and having several closes above the 200-day moving average. Finally broke out yesterday, and then continued today, and looks like it will continue. So we've got a lot of upside in oil. We've got this major, so we've got kind of a minor resistance area, I would say, at around 1280 on the USO, and then a little minor one, and then major resistance would be up here at around 14 and a quarter, 14. So we've got a ways to go here on USO. I think it's generally constructive. Prices have been artificially low, and so I think we're at a turning point there as well. So USO, both oil and gold, I think, are on their way up the, climbing the ladder, climbing the stairs. So both have been hit, and I think both are recovering and look very constructive. So with all that being said, if we look at Apple, so Apple's been hanging around here, building. So it'll be interesting to see where it moves from here. I think if the market continues to be strong, I think we'll see a gap fill here on Apple, at 104, in the 104 area. It could go back down and retest the 95. That was my initial impression of where Apple was going, but really anywhere in this range actually makes some sense. So right in the middle of this area, and it'll be, I would expect it to trade within this range for some time. I don't expect it to reach new highs anytime soon for Apple. With that being said, we've got a lot of trades triggering on the long side here. Really the only trades that are consistently traded on the short side is biotech. So biotechnology trades. So the IBB is just what I would trade for biotech, and if you, as you can see here, it's kind of in a range that looks like a little bit of a consolidation period, and it's at the top of this range here, and looks like it could be selling off a little bit. So if you wanted to take a trade in the IBB, you could, rather than go in individual names. But I will be posting snapshots and kind of information on my trade setups tomorrow morning for the day. But I'll talk about a few of them here. I want to talk about a few of the bigger ones. So railroads are beginning to trigger, which is another bullish sign. So I have railroads CNI. So this one is triggering. Obviously it looks like it bounced a little bit off of its 50-day here, but it's got a lot of support in it right below it at this we'll call it this 60-20 60-24 area. So it could easily bounce off that. So depending on what happens tomorrow, that could be a great entry. But railroads in general, with Dow theory, it says transportation averages, as they go up, they will go lead the market. So essentially. So along with that, another one that I want to mention, because it's a high trade, and one of the things that you look for if you're an options trader is you've got to trade things with liquid options. And so you're looking at the most liquid stocks in general, the ones with the highest trading volume. So Facebook, when you get a trigger, when a trade triggers in one of those names, you generally go for it. So Facebook triggered for the 6/24 expiration, June 24th options expirations, which is one of the weeklies. But you can see this kind of consolidation period in a nice uptrend here. So looking to go long in Facebook. I really like this one. Let me look. Another trade that we're looking at is Google or Alphabet. So this is an interesting one. We've got a gap that hasn't quite been filled yet. Again, consolidation dropped to its 200-day, and it has a zigzag up move in it. So this could actually, looks like it could go either way. I expect it just closed above the 50-day. And it was respecting its 200-day moving average. I expect it to go higher from here. And so these are two very liquid trades if you wanted to do options, vertical spreads, or whatever, however you want to play. The options volume is there for both of those trades easily, and that again is June 24th expiration, so you would target those. Just looking at some of the other interesting trades that we had. So a lot of these, some of these have traded before. We've got one in NDAQ, so the NASDAQ, another consolidation pattern in the NASDAQ, so that looks very constructive. And yeah, I just want to say, make sure you check out the feed pre-market for the pictures. I'll be posting the trade setups and the back test, the win ratio information, and the start and end date, so you want to check those out. Follow me on Twitter and StockTwits at TradeKraken, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at TradeKraken. Appreciate all the follows, all the likes, all the comments. God bless, good luck, and great trading.